This is Biz with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. Hello, and welcome back to my channel, my beautiful people. If this is your first time, I'm Tanya. I'm a business coach and marketing strategist, and I work with people of influence, SMBs, and independent consultants and coaches to amplify their marketing message and attract premium clients and opportunities. Now, today I wanted to do a different type of videos because I've been asked to do this video by a number of people, some of my clients, some of people in my community, some of my followers. So I was like, you know what, I will do it. And as you can see from the title, it is different books that I recommend for entrepreneurs to read. Now, inside my courses, if you've ever been inside my program, you will find that I recommend certain books even within the courses. And there are certain books that I believe those are staples, but I'm not going to go into the ones I recommend in the course. I'm going to go into different ones that I believe that they would give you much needed insight. So first of all, some of the books that I will recommend here, you'll be like, well, Tanya, we are coaches, we are consultants, we are course creators, we are freelancers. It's something that is not related to our industry. You're wrong. Something my business mentor has said to me, and that is something that I've learned quite a while ago from also a previous business coach, is that you can extrapolate knowledge from other industries and implement it in your current industry. And when you do that, you can develop powerful strategies. Why? Because if you are an online coach, only taking advice from online coaches, what that means is that, like, let's put it in perspective for a minute. I'll give you a great example that you may think about. Amy Porterfield is one of the most popular podcasts in the online space, especially in the online business space, like 1 million download per episode sometime. So let's say, for example, one episode drops, it's got 1 million downloads. Not everybody that's gonna download it is gonna listen to it, because I've downloaded episodes that I still have to listen. Let's say that 30% actually listen to the episode. That makes it around 300,000. And let's say only 50% of those decide to actually pay attention and take notes. That's only 150,000, still a hefty number. And of those, let's say only 10% actually go about and implement what they've learned, because that's the truth. Less than 10% even would implement. That would be, if it's at 10%, it'll be 15,000 people. If it's at 5%, that'll be 7,500 people. That's still a lot of people doing the same thing. And what that ends up creating is often a sea of sameness. This is why most of the time when I'm actually creating content, you will notice that I usually create high level content that gets you to think. Because when you think and you leverage the content that I create to start thinking about an approach and devise your own strategy, your strategy will still look different than mine, even though it is inspired from the same thing. This is one of the reasons why I had decided to stop creating tactical content and primarily focus on high-level strategic content and teaching principles, so that when you devise your strategies, it is different and you can stand out. And one of the things also that my mentor said that I wanted to share was that at the core of everything, all businesses are the same. Whether you have an e-commerce, coaching business, consulting business, course creation business, freelancer, offline consulting business, an accounting firm, all businesses are the same. Before you go about and try to stop bringing the pitchforks, think about this. Fundamentally, all businesses are built on the same principles. If you take a SaaS company that is successful, you will notice that the principle on which it is built may be the same as another company that leverage the same principles. So you can definitely learn from different industries. So I'm going to be sharing 7 books that I would advise that you get on. Yeah. Amazon book buying is an hobby that is different to reading books. I know I'm a culprit. I'm working on it and trying to read as many as I can. But I definitely want you to read these books. All right? And in the 7th place, it's not that when I'm actually saying this, it's not that one is less better than the other one, but it's depending on different things that I'm going to be talking about. In 7th place, I'm going to paste it here, is Live Launch by Kelly Roach. Now, some of you may not be familiar with who Kelly Roach is. Some of you may be familiar, but she is a woman that has built quite a commanding brand and a commanding consulting and coaching business, which is currently, I think, 8 figures. It's 8 figures, in 5,000. She last year, this year she rose through the rank as well. And one of the things why I'm actually recommending a book, because you may be familiar with one of the strategies that she teaches for consultant, coaches, course creators to bring in money into to bring money into their business, but you may not know that she created the strategy. So you probably have attended a challenge, the 5-day challenge, 3 days challenge, and stuff like that. She created the live launch method because after a couple of failed attempts at creating a business, she realized that the strategies that were in place at the time were not exactly very friendly for small businesses. So she created the live launch method where you can create a Facebook group, bring people in, make bring value into it, make an offer, and close deals. So I highly recommend that you read that book because when I read it, though I don't really attempt to do live launches, I might attempt one next year because my health this year wasn't too good, and I have an issue with my health that leaves me very exhausted, which I'm currently working on. And this is why sometimes I disappear and don't create video content, because I'm literally tapped out. And it's not being burnt out, it's something completely different. I'm not yet comfortable. I've never been comfortable sharing too many things. So this is why when I created my business, I decided to leverage pre-recorded videos because I could create content when I had high level of energy, or I can create program when I have high level energy, and then when it tanks, at least I can try to manage and not have to show up 100% of the time for certain things. So that's one of the reasons. But I definitely recommend that you read this book. It teaches you the principle of creating a launch, and a launch that works. And there's something that I took away from the book, and something that she teaches, and you also see her do it constantly in the business, is that the principle of live launch recycling. So you create a launch once, and whenever you are launching, you just use the same one and you just reiterate, or you tweak it as you go to make it better and even better. So this is something that you may be interested in finding out if you want to be bringing in revenue into your business. Number 6, this book, I actually did not know the author for quite a while, and I discovered the book because Amazon, as usual, likes to recommend books to me and things like that. So I had just purchased a book, and then it got recommended due to the type of books I was reading, and that is the $150 million Secret by Guillaume Moubeche. Now, one of the things is I never heard of Moubeche before, of Guillaume before, because I knew of the two Lamelist. He's one of the founders of Lamelist, but I never heard of him before. So when they recommended it, I was like, oh, whatever, another one. But you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to check out if he's made this kind of money or whatever, then there has to be some media on him. So I went on Spotify and searched his name, found a couple of podcasts where he had been interviewed, found his own podcast, then eventually checked on YouTube, found his channel. I found so much value in that I ended up buying the book. Now, in the book, it kind of gives you a blueprint on launching a SaaS product, but I promise you that the lessons shared in that book can be implemented even if you have a service business. For less than $20, I promise you that book is worth the read. It's amazing the way Guillaume actually shares on his journey, the journey of starting the business, certain things. And there's a lot of things I agreed with him, especially when you'll see it often in the online space and they're talking to you about investing, and that you if you believed in your business, you would empty your pocket, and he's also definitely against that. And I love that about him when he shared that in the book. So it's a book that I highly recommend that you read if you're trying to bootstrap creating a business, whether it is a consulting business and whether it is a SaaS business. Because let me tell you something, SaaS simply means software as a service. So at the core of it all, it is still a service. So fundamentally, the same principles that would apply to a service would apply to a SaaS business. In number 5, also wasn't familiar with the author prior to being very active on LinkedIn. And this book is something that you would not see coming. And it is by, let me just get the name. The next recommendation is by Chris Bentley, Burning Bellatorum. Now, I found out about Chris Bentley when I became a lot more active on LinkedIn, and I must admit, it's one of my most favorite books to have read. So, Burning Bellatorum is about Chris Bentley, and a fraud case is currently facing regarding his company that where I believe he misappropriated $40 million, and it was an investment kind of venture capitalist kind of business. So it speaks about investing and a lot of things. Now, one of the reasons I love this book, and it goes hand in hand with one of the principles that a lot of Christians would know that is taught in the book of Proverbs, is that you can learn a lot of things from other people's mistakes. And that's one of the things that Chris Bentley said that he wanted people to learn from his experience. And boy, that book is full of nuggets on how to make investment decisions. And these lessons can be extrapolated when you're making investment decisions, let's say in coaching or in services. What it teaches the outside, because a lot of people used to say that when I would say I'm not comfortable with making decisions on the whim, and in the online space you get bullied for saying things like that, it means you don't trust yourself, and a lot of the things he shared there, I felt like vindicated for a lot of the things that I never wanted to do, or I didn't trust myself to. I didn't feel like I wanted to do because ABCD. Also, the principle of niching, the way he teaches it in the book, is amazing. And so many gold nuggets. Frankly, I recommend that you pick up this book. I believe it's less than $10, but it is worth the read. It is worth the read. It explains a lot of things from his hand when it comes to decision making, how he made those mistakes, and it gives you insight sometimes, because one of the things I often say is that as entrepreneurs, I believe in an upcoming vlog that I'll be releasing, I share in a lot more depth there, my thinking about the background, the behind the scene of being an entrepreneur. And a lot of times it can feel that you are constantly making life and death decisions. Always, it always feels like that. So it gives you insight on somebody else is making decisions and making mistakes, and hopefully you definitely can learn a number of things from the mistakes that he made. So I highly, highly recommend that you read that book. It is worth it, I promise you. The next book that I believe will be number 4, it is 12 Months to $1 million by Daniel Moran. Now, this book, right, at first you like by telling this is about how to pick a winning product, build a real business, and becoming a 7-figure entrepreneur. But it primarily speaks of it from the Amazon having an FBA business fulfilled by Amazon. But I promise you, was the read. One of the things that I picked up from this book, because I recently was rereading it, and it's all about how to build in public. One of the things he said, because building in public, which is sharing a lot more of behind the scene, helps you gain a lot of trust. Trust me, you will pick up a number of things from it. From product launches, you can definitely extrapolate a lot of the things that it teaches on launching products on Amazon to your service. So I highly recommend that you pick up this book. It's an amazing, amazing book. Number 3, this is from one of my faves. I mean, when I started, I got online. One of the first people I found that's out of the Emmy Porterfield and everybody else, it's this man. His name is Graham Cochrane. Now, Graham Cochrane has built 2 7-figure businesses online selling courses. And he released this book, I believe, earlier this year. I must have, if it's not, it's late last year when I purchased it. I can't remember. But it is how to get paid for what you know, turning your knowledge, passion, and experience into an online income stream in your spare time. Now, this is for anybody that is in the corporate space that is thinking probably on exiting the corporate space, and they are thinking, what can I do? What kind of business can I do? And everything. But also, there's a couple of nuggets there if you are an established entrepreneur. Trust me. And one of the things that I love about Graham's business model is that it doesn't do launches. Really, does it do ever launches? Or if it does quiet launches on his list. So it's an amazing concept. It goes over everything that he knows in the book, how to build a business, how to reiterate things, how to ensure that people buy, especially if you intend to sell courses or memberships, which he has done on both his business. And if I remember correctly, he works less than 4 days a week, around 3 days a week or something there. And he also has a channel and a podcast, so the Graham Cochrane Show. So you might want to check it out if you like before you purchase this book. It's the real deal, I promise you. So definitely a book worth the read if you are building an online business as a coach, course creator, or anything of the sort. Number 3, this book is a little bit expensive as the ebook is at $50 and the hard copy is a little bit more expensive than that, and it's all about the fashion business. But you want to pick up this book because it teaches you a number of things, and that is the Luxury Strategy by J.N. Kapferer. I can't pronounce the name, child, but it's a great book. It's based on obviously the fashion industry, but the luxury end of the fashion industry. And if you sell expensive-ish, like services, coaching, and everything, and we spend expense, I can't talk. We sell expensive-ish. You want to pick up this book and extrapolate a lot of the lessons from this book. It's an amazing book. A little bit on the pricey hand, but I think it is worth the investment because it teaches you how to break the rules of marketing to build a luxury brand. And if you think about it, brands such as Louis Vuitton, brands such as Hermes violates the rules of marketing. So it teaches you how to violate the rules to attract a hold of clients. And who doesn't want that? We all do. And finally, number one, I couldn't, if I had to go over all the great books, we would have had a huge list. But in the number one place, I would recommend the book Hooked by Nir Eyal. I don't know if I pronounced that name right, but the book is all about product development. And though in the book it speaks a lot about the tech space, you definitely can extrapolate a number of things to your own business when if you are developing anything, any product, any service, any offer. This book is worth a read, I promise you, because it teaches you a lot of the back end, especially the fact that you kind of get the behind the scene of products such as TikTok, as products such as YouTube, why they've become such a big part of on normal life. And if you can recreate some of it in your business and create such products, it can help you with having repeat business and bring down your cost of acquisition of clients. So these books are definitely some that I would recommend. If you have a couple more books that you would recommend that you didn't see me share, leave it in the comments below and help a sister out. And if you would like to know a lot more about what I do, reach out to me via LinkedIn. I'll leave my LinkedIn here, or check out my website. The link will be in the description box and in the first comment, in the pinned comment. So on this note, I will see you in the next one. Bye.